And I am Ingrid, certified life coach, former classroom teacher, and autism mom. My son is 14. He was diagnosed at age 4, and whew, what a journey. Now, I just decided to pivot my coaching and my consulting to only working with autism parents. Now, before I was doing stuff and it just didn't feel right. I've had my coaching practice for a year and I've coached people, and I'm successful. I've been good at it, but it just seemed off. Like I didn't feel like it was my calling. Now, autism parent coaching, that is my calling, because throughout my son's autism journey and even as a teacher, I found myself being more inspiring to the parents. Well, not saying I didn't inspire my students, but I was very much so inspiring to the parents. And I was such an advocate for my own child that, other parents saw that. And I just want to help other parents be that way with their children, because it's so frustrating, especially as a teacher. When I was teaching, it would be so frustrating to me when I would try to explain something to a parent about their child and they just didn't have it in them to speak up and advocate for their child. And I'm like, okay, I can't do this. This is not my child. I can only do so much for your child. So, said all of that to say this: you're the expert. When it comes to your child, you are the expert. That is one of the most valuable lessons that I learned as an autism parent, is that nobody knows my child better than I do. I'm the expert. They can have as many letters behind their name as they want. They can have all the expertise, all the years of experience, but at the end of the day, nobody is more experienced with your child than you are. At least that's how it should be. And you should always trust your instincts. When it comes to your child, trust your instincts. No child is the same, especially children with autism. They tell you, if you meet one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, because nobody is the same. Now, I'll give you a story about trusting your instincts. Please do yourself a favor and look into the real benefits. Okay, yeah, thanks. So let me tell you a story about trusting your instincts. When my child was 2 years old, he started daycare. And that's when I noticed that, some things were different. Like he wasn't speaking as much as the other kids. I'm like, okay, something's off. Like, why are these children running around doing all of this and my baby is not? Like, I understand that, children are going to be different and they learn things at different times, but yeah, there was a big gap. So I started having him tested for different things, had his hearing tested, his speech, was trying to find out if maybe there was some sort of learning disability. All the things. I had all the tests. I mean, I was every week or other week, I was getting scheduled or headed to some sort of, testing center to have him tested, because I needed to know what was going on with my child so I can move forward. Now, at age 3, because I told you this all started at age 2. So by age 3, he was diagnosed with a speech delay. Okay. That made sense. That made sense to me. Okay, so I accepted that. And I moved forward with, him getting a speech therapist and speech services at his daycare. And he was getting ready to start preschool. So, we had all of that laid out. Okay, well, as time passed, I didn't accept the speech delay anymore. Like, I accepted it. I knew that was it. Like, that was part of it, but I knew that there was more. I felt in my spirit, like just knowing my child and seeing him progress and go through, I knew that there was more to it than just a speech delay. So probably around age 4. Yeah, age 4. Like I said, he was diagnosed at age 4. So once he started preschool in that August, I really had more questions. Like once he started preschool, I had even more questions. Like nothing seemed right. And it was because of just the behaviors that he displayed once he started preschool. But then at the same time, he was almost like a genius. He still wasn't really talking a whole lot, but he was like this baby genius. And I'm just like, okay, what? Happy about that, but still, like, what is going on? Like, what? It's not just a speech delay. So I kept pushing and I kept pushing. And I told his pediatrician, like, look, I'm grateful that y'all found out that my baby had a speech delay and he's getting the help that he needs, but this ain't just a speech delay. Like, I still got questions. There's still something that's not, you know, there for my baby. It's like it's hidden. Like, I can look into his eyes and I see there's something there, but it's just not coming out. So either way, he was like, little guy. That's how he used to talk to my baby. Little guy, I just don't know about you, but we're gonna find out. So he ended up referring us to this facility. I say facility, that sounds so bad. That sounds like it's some kind of mental facility. He sent us to, I wish I could think of the name of it, but either way, that's not important. But he sent us to a testing center where my son could be tested for autism. So, yeah, definitely autistic. Found out that my child had autism. And for me, it was a relief. It really was. And I know that's not what most parents feel when they find out that their child is autistic. They're usually overwhelmed, like they're scared, because it's like, okay, what do I do now? And I get that. I get it. But I guess for me, because I had been questioning for so long and had been given an answer, but didn't feel like that answer was, good enough, I kept pushing. So for me, once he was diagnosed, it was a relief, because it's like, now I know I'm not crazy. I knew it was more than just a speech delay. So from there, we moved forward, started getting him the help that he needed. But I said all of that to say this: you are the expert when it comes to your child. You may not be the expert when it comes to autism. You may not be the expert when it comes to their health, but when it comes to them in general, you're the expert. And I just want to teach more parents how to do that, how to have that mindset, how to move forward with that mindset. Because once you have that mindset that I'm the expert when it comes to my child, oh baby, things will get done. You ain't got to know much, just long as you know that you are the expert when it comes to your child. Because let me tell you something about the teachers at my child's school. I don't know everything. I really don't. You can't, it's some things you can ask me about when it comes to autism. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about that, but I know how to get the answers. And his teachers, anybody that deals with my child, they know that his mama don't play. Like, she's going to get things done. I'm going to advocate for my child. I'm going to speak up for my child, because listen, you might be good at what you do. You might have a lot of experience in what you do, but when it comes to him, I'm the expert. So yeah, you just got to have that attitude. And well, you know what? Don't have that attitude. Maybe you don't need the attitude that I have sometimes when I go up to the school, but you do need to have that mindset that you are the expert when it comes to your child. And hello, thanks to all of you who are joining. And again, I ask, are any of you autism parents? Because let's see, let me read. Okay, let's see, we're notifying. Hi. To think man to mercury detoxification therapy. Okay. Not on the lie, saying it doesn't work. Okay, now I'm assuming that you did some sort of, is that some sort of medication? Are you still on here? Because I have no idea what that is. My son has never taken any type of medication with his diagnosis. He did attend ABA therapy for a little over a year, but my son has never taken any type of medication. And to tell you where he is now, I just told you at age 3, he wasn't talking at age 4. Actually, my son didn't start actually speaking in full sentences until he was 5 years old. Now, to tell you where he is now, to give you an idea of his progress, he is now 14 years old. We do virtual online school through Connections Academy, and he doesn't really even have special education services. I mean, they offer it, but because it's virtual, like, he's pretty much on his own. It's pretty much me and him. And I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, I don't really help him a lot. Now, that's not a bad thing, because he's very independent. Like, that's just where he is now. He can teach himself. Like, he goes through all of the classes by himself. The only time that I really have to just help him with his schoolwork is when it comes to English, because English is very challenging for him. But honestly, English is challenging for lots of kids. I taught middle school English, and yeah, the smartest of children struggle with that. So I do have to help him with essays and things like that. But other than that, my son is good to go. Very independent. Um, when it comes to his chores, he pretty much does everything that your average teenager does. Sleeps till noon, sometimes 1 and 2 o'clock. He does, like I said, he does do his own laundry. He makes his bed. Any other chores that I give him around the house. Plays video games all day. He's your average teenager. But yeah, when it comes to his progress and his development, night and day. Night and day. And yes, it does have a lot to do with the village that I created around him, but it also has a lot to do with me, because if you take the same therapies and education that my child received and you give it to another child with a different type of parent, I'm gonna tell you now, the results are not gonna be the same, because it depends on the parent. Like, you have to be the expert. You have to know that you're the expert when it comes to your child. And I just kind of got aggravated trying to tell people that. So now I've decided to teach people how to build that confidence and know that they're the expert. Like, don't let the diagnosis scare you. Don't let it scare you because, well, I don't know nothing about diagnosis, about, autism or the diagnosis. You don't have to. You don't have to. As long as you know your child and you know how to advocate and speak up for your child. That's enough. That's really all you got to have. And from there, you can move mountains. Hey, T-Mac, hello. Oh, thank you. I don't have on my wig today. I still haven't worn it yet. But yeah. Do you have anybody in your family or know anybody with autism? We're having our little autism talk. My business mentor told me that I do need to go live more often. And even though this is not the platform where I want to go live, I would prefer to go live on my Facebook or either my Instagram. I am doing it here also just to kind of get practice in. But yeah, talking today about being the expert when it comes to your child. And that's just not just being an expert when it comes to your child with any type of diagnosis, but you should be the expert when it comes to your child, period. Period. They don't have to have a diagnosis for you to be the expert. Like, nobody knows your child better than you. Because if you think about it, like, yeah, they can have that teacher that works with them and oh, they're so great. They're not gonna have that teacher next year. Teachers come and go. Therapists come and go. Doctors come and go. Oh my goodness, my son had the best therapist when he was going to ABA. Oh, she would go to meetings with me and everything. I loved her. But what do you do when they're gone? What do you do when they're gone? Now it's just you. So that's why you have to be the expert when it comes to your child. You have to learn how to speak up and advocate for your child. Because that person that you love and that's there holding your hand and guiding you, they're not going to be there forever. But you know who is going to be there with your child? You. So you got to do it. You got to learn how to be the expert. But anyway, speaking of being an expert, I gotta go feed my child. Do any of you have any questions, any comments? Anybody want to say anything before I log off? I did get some likes, so that was so nice. So nice. I got a lot of likes. I think I got likes because I look like somebody today. They're probably used to seeing me look like a bum on my TikTok. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys for joining me. I wish I could schedule my lives. I see that some people can schedule their lives. I don't have that option yet. When I do, I'll let you guys know. Be sure to subscribe to my website if you have no need for autism parent coaching. Refer me to somebody else. Let somebody else know that I am here. Tell them to subscribe to my website. Thank you guys. You have a beautiful weekend.